Whenever I do this type of hairstyle, I always get asked a couple questions. What tools do I use and how do I do it? How do I have beach waves, but I also have soft curls? What tool did I use to achieve that? Well, I'm about to show you. Let's do the tutorial. So for this look, we're actually gonna use two hot tools, the Tymo Rovy deep waver and a flat iron. You can see up to this point, I've just used the deep waver. I've taken small sections all the way up the back and the sides and used the Tymo Rovy. Now for my next section, I'm actually gonna do some flat iron curls. I'm gonna take my next section, I'm gonna smooth it out. I'm gonna spray my heat protectant. Now I'm gonna section this off and I'm gonna do flat iron curls, starting at the top, just a slight bend in the wrist, and then I'm just gonna pull out and down. Like that. Start at the top, a slight bend, and then slowly and smoothly pull out and down. And the reason we're doing this, the reason we're gonna have two different type of curls is to give it some dimension, to give it extra texture, and make it a little softer. Now we have our deep waves and our curls. I'm gonna do this side. And I have a flat spot on the back of my head or the crown, so I always like to make sure I do a little bit of back combing there before I curl. Now for the mohawk section, instead of doing vertical sections up the side of the head, now we're gonna switch and we're gonna do horizontal sections, all right? Start in the back, take my horizontal section across. Now we want lots of volume up here, so I'm gonna do my little bit of back combing, apply my heat protectant. And now, since this is a curl, I'm gonna go back to the deep waver. So we'll go up to the top, clamp, hold for mine. I do 6 seconds usually. It beeps, now we're gonna move on. But now, since that was a deep wave, we're gonna do flat iron curls. I promise this is gonna all come together. Back to the deep waver. And by styling the mohawk this way, it means it's not gonna matter where we part our hair at the end. We can do a side part, we can go down the middle. It's not gonna matter because we have this section of hair all going one direction and it's gonna give us a lot of volume. Now for the bangs, I'm gonna do them a little differently. I'm gonna take a super fine section in the front, clip these out of the way, apply my heat protectant, and I'm gonna pull these forward. And I'm gonna do that again. And go really quick. These hairs are really fragile. You don't want to apply a lot of heat to them. And then you're gonna let that cool. Now that everything's cool, I'm gonna take my hair oil, rub that on my hands because we don't want any friction, right? We want to avoid as much frizz as possible. So I'm gonna take my hands that are all oiled up and I'm just gonna finger comb through here and shake up these waves and curls. Like this. Very technical. But since we over directed those front hairs this way, now when I push them back this way, I'm gonna get that va-voom. And then again with those oiled up fingers, I'm just gonna rake them through to tame the hair and kind of get it placed wherever I want it. And you can just kind of play with it and manipulate it. And since your fingers are oiled up, you don't have to worry about creating more frizz because normally the more you touch your hair, the frizzier it's gonna get. And make sure to get my ends good. And then before I'm done, if I find any pieces that doesn't look like they got enough curl or enough wave or that are a little frizzy like this, I'll just take my section, smooth it out a little bit, and apply a little bit more heat. And then like I mentioned, since we styled our mohawk this direction, it doesn't matter which way we part our hair. It can be down the middle if you wanted to. I'm just not that kind of gal. I like a deep side part. But then you have curls and waves in every direction. Apply some spray wax, tame down any of those baby or frizzy hairs. I like to use a spray wax instead of a hairspray because it adds to the curl definition. It adds shine, but it's not sticky like hairspray. And then if you have any frizzly ends, you can just take that flat iron and just smooth them and curl them out. And there you have it. That's how I get beach waves and soft curls. Don't be afraid to use multiple tools in your styles. So I'm gonna link what I can down below for you. The rest of the things that I used today, you can find in my storefront. But if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a fabulous hair day.